In this video, we're going to talk about the histology of the gastrointestinal tracts. The previous video we talked about the histology of the male reproductive system, and we're able to mention its histology as well as the process of spermatogenesis. Now, if we're talking about the histology of gastrointestinal tracts, you're just talking about the histology of the digestive tract itself. And when we hear the word digestive tract, what function do we think that it performs? We know that it performs the function of what? It function of digestion, which deals with what? It deals with the breaking down of the complex material into simple materials where we can gain our nutrients, where we can get the nutrient that each cell we need to perform its metabolic activity. You understand? Now, the digestive system itself consists of digestive tracts, and it is mainly made up of the oral cavity. Yes, the oral cavity, the esophagus, and the stomach itself is the stomach, the small intestine, and the large intestine, as well as the anus. Which means we can say that the digestive system starts from the oral cavity and ends in the what? Ends in the anus. So it starts with the what? It starts with the oral cavity and end in the anus. You understand? So we have the what? We have the oral cavity, and inside the oral cavity we have associated gland. So we can say that digestive system performs the function of digestion, and this function of digestion is actually like it is aided by some glands. The glands that might be within or outside the digestive tract, but all of them leads into the tract. You understand? Now, these glands include the salivary gland, the sublingual salivary gland, the submandibular salivary gland. You understand? All of them are inside the what? Oral cavity. We also have some structure that helps in digestion. For example, the teeth and the tongue. You understand? Now, we have the pharynx itself. You understand? So we said the digestive system or the gastrointestinal tracts start from the what? From the oral cavity and ends in the what? Ends in the anus. And what are the important structure that I said? The important part of the GI. It is the oral cavity itself that contains teeth, tongue, and the salivary gland, the esophagus, right? The stomach, the intestine, which is the small intestine, as well as the large intestine. You understand? Now, different parts of this digestive system perform different function. So there is structural modification that is seen within the part of gastrointestinal tracts. Now, what are the functions that we can see, or the structure within the digestive tract? What are the things that it allows? Now, it allows ingestion, that is the oral cavity, right? Ingestion. It also allows mastication, that is the teeth, that is breaking down, mastication, right? It also allows motility, that is movement through the what? From the mouth to the esophagus. It allows motility of food material. It allows secretion of what? Salivary gland, secretion of mucous gland. It allows secretion. It allows hormonal release. Remember I told you that many gland is responsible for what? Many gland is responsible for digestion. Now, lastly, also it allows chemical digestion as well. Yes, we have chemical digestion. Let me write that one down here. We have chemical digestion. It allows chemical digestion. It allows absorption. And lastly, it allows elimination. So these are the things that it allows. The way it follows themselves. We said what? The ingestion using the oral cavity, the mouth, mastication using the teeth, motility through the tracts from the esophagus to the stomach to the intestine and stuff like that. Secretion, that is secretion of what? Mucous, digestive enzyme, acidic and alkaline fluid, as well as bile in the what? In the bile ducts. You understand? Hormonal release, they are control of motility and secretion of hormones in what? In during digestion. Chemical digestion as well, that is degradation of large macromolecules into smaller molecules and their subunits. Absorption, that is absorption of nutrients. Those small molecules that has been what? That has been degraded, those large molecules that have been degraded to small molecules will be absorbed into the blood and even the lymph vessels. You understand? And elimination, that is indigestible material is what? It is going to be eliminated out of the body through the anus. So from what I just said now, you see that it starts from the what? It starts from the mouth, Abi, and it ends in the what? It ends in the anus. You understand? That is elimination. So now, let us now proceed to the what? To the histological layer of what? Histological layer of the gastrointestinal tract. Now, basically, we have four histological layer of gastrointestinal tract. We have the mucosa. Look at it here. That's the inner part. We have the submucosa. This is it here. Can you see it? That is this middle part, the second layer. You understand? We have the muscularis externa. The muscularis externa. This is it here. Look at it. And we have the what? We have the serosa. So look at the serosa here. Look at it. So the internal layer is the what? Is the mucosa. The one that follows it is the submucosa. The one that follows it is the muscularis externa. And the last one is what? Is the serosa. You understand? Now let us talk about each of them. You see this mucosa. Mucosa is made up of epithelium, lining epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosa. It's made up of what? The epithelium, the lamina propria, and the muscularis mucosa. Now, let me just zoom it in so that we can show ourselves how it looks. So look at it. We have the what? We have the epithelium. That is the one here. We have the second layer that follows it to be lamina propria, and we have the last one that is here to be muscularis mucosa. Now, what's the function of each of them? Now, the epithelium performs three functions, basically three functions. That is PAS, P-A-S, P-A-S. You understand? That is protection, absorption, and secretion. Those are the three functions that epithelium performs: protection, absorption, and secretion. You understand? So it gets modified based on the function that is performed. If it's performing protection, it is going to be modified for protection. If it is performing absorption, it's going to be modified for absorption. You understand? So it is gets modified according to the function that it performs. Now, it also consists of lamina propria. What is the function of lamina propria itself? The function of lamina propria is it consists of blood supply. It is rich in blood supply and lymphatics. Digested food enters into this particular layer. Digested food. Now, remember I told you that whenever food is digested, it is going to be absorbed by the what? By the blood vessels. So there are blood vessels here that absorb what? That absorb digested food. It also consists of gland and what? And lymphoid follicles. And the main function of lamina propria is to support this epithelium, support the overlying epithelium. You understand? It supports the overlying epithelium. Now, what about the third one, which is muscularis mucosa? The muscularis mucosa separates the mucosa from the submucosa. Look at it. This is mucosa here. This is muscularis mucosa, and this one here is the submucosa. So muscularis mucosa, it separates the mucosa from the submucosa. You understand? And it consists of smooth muscles. That is, the inner circular muscles and the outer longitudinal muscles consist of two smooth muscles. Now, it provides localized movement from mucous membrane. You understand? For absorption. I don't know if I have the image here. I don't have the image. So let us just make use of this one. So this is what I've explained what mucosa looks like. The inner layer. It consists of the epithelium, the lamina propria, and the muscularis mucosa. You understand? Now, we now have the second one to be submucosa. Now, the submucosa is present between the muscularis externa. It's present with the muscularis externa and the mucosa itself. Now, the submucosa is made up of loose connective tissues. So look at this is the submucosa. So it's made up of what? Loose connective tissues, and apart from it has blood vessels and lymphatics. It has what? Blood vessels and lymphatics. Now, apart from these blood vessels and lymphatics, it is also made up of plexus of autonomic nerves, yeah, plexus of autonomic nerves, known as Meissner plexus. So look at this. The submucosal nerve plexus is known as what? It's known as Meissner plexus. So let me write it down. Meissner plexus. MESSEIN. Sorry, NER. Let me clear that. SSNER. Meissner's what? Plexus. Understand? Meissner plexus. Now, I said I have the what? I have in the submucosal gland, I have it to be present between the mucosa and the muscularis externa. It consists of loose connective tissue. And apart from blood and lymphatics, it also consists of autonomic nerves, which is what? Which is Meissner plexus. You understand? That is for that one. Now, what about muscularis externa? The muscularis externa itself, this is muscularis externa here. This muscularis externa. It is also made up of smooth muscles. Now, these smooth muscles are of two layers. These smooth muscles are of what? Are of two layers. That is the inner circular and the outer longitudinal muscles. You understand? It's of two layers. Look at it. We have this one here, we have one here, and we have another one here. You understand? So we have the inner circular and the outer longitudinal what? Smooth muscles. Now, between these two smooth muscles, we now have nerves, nerve plexus. Look at this. We have nerve plexus on this place. What are these nerve plexus called? They are called myenteric nerve plexus, and some textbooks call them Iobac plexus. You understand? So myenteric nerve plexus or Iobac plexus. You understand? Now, the contraction of this layer propels the food. It propels it. It makes it goes down. You understand? So that is the function of that layer. Now let's talk about the serosa or the adventitia. The serosa is the outermost layer of the what? Look at it. It's the outermost layer of the GI tract. You understand? Now, it's made up of loose connective tissue as well, and it is covered with simple squamous epithelium. Simple squamous epithelium. Now, it's also known as adventitia. So in some texts we consider them as adventitia. So the simple squamous epithelium is also known as what? It's known as mesothelium. You understand? It's known as mesothelium. So don't be confused if you see mesothelium. Simple squamous epithelium in the serosa is known as mesothelium. Now, this is a cross section of the esophagus. This is a cross section of the esophagus. We have the mucosa here. We have this mucosa. We have the submucosa. We have the muscularis externa, and we have the what? And we have the adventitia. Remember that the adventitia is made up of what? It's made up of smooth. Is made up of simple squamous epithelium. You understand? And we all know that the submucosa and the muscularis externa is made up of what? It's made up of smooth muscles, right? Now, and I've already mentioned what the mucosa consists. It consists of lamina propria, right? Lamina propria, and it consists of lamina propria. So look at this. Look at the second image here. So they took out the histology layer of the mucosa itself to show what? To shows the other stuff that we're having here. You understand? So we have the mucosa in the esophagus. We have the mucosa, which is the inner layer. We have the submucosa, which follows it. We have the muscularis externa, and we have the what? And we have the serosa or adventitia. You understand? The adventitia or the serosa, which is made up of the smooth connective tissues. You understand? Now, we now have the stomach. Remember that stomach is part of what I mentioned in what? In the GI tract. Now, the stomach consists of four basic layers. You understand? It's made up of what? Four basic regions. We have the cardia. So from the esophagus, this is the esophagus. The food leads into the what? It leads into the stomach. You understand? Leads into the stomach. So inside the stomach we have cardia. You understand? We have the body. We have fundus, and we have the pylorus. We have what? Cardia, the fundus, the body, and the what? And the pylorus. You understand? Now, this stomach, it shows folds. Stomach itself, it shows folds. I'm going to show you a fold. They call it rugae. Look at this. This is an histological structure of what? Histological structure of the stomach that is showing rugae. They call it fold or rugae. You understand? So this rugae is found in what? Is found in empty stomach. That is the stomach that you have not fed. You understand? So this rugae, it's like a fold, like a fold. You understand? Like a fold. You understand? Which disappear once the stomach is distended. So this is an histological layer of what? Of rugae. You understand? Now we have. Now I will now be mentioning. Remember that we are dealing with stomach now, Abi. So this M that is here, this M that is here, that's the mucosa. You understand? This SM is the submucosa. You understand? This ME is the muscularis externa, and this V that is here, it is blood vessels. You understand? These are blood vessels. I get it now. So it is showing rugae. 1, 2. You understand? It is showing rugae. So that is now. Look at this now. I said we have the what? We have the fundus, we have the cardia, we have the body, and we have the pylorus. Right? These are the things that we have inside the stomach. Now, one thing about it is that once the food enters into the stomach, it is going to add an acid which turns the food, the various mass, which turns the content of the food into something we know as chyme. Chyme. You understand? It turns it into chyme. Now, the cardia itself, let me now talk about each of this thing. The cardia is a narrow transitional zone, you understand, and it's about 1.5 to 3 centimeter, 1.5 to 3 centimeter wide. So the wideness is about 1.5 to 3 centimeter. It is between the esophagus and the stomach. So this thing between the esophagus and the stomach is known as what? Is known as the cardia. The pylorus itself, look at the pylorus. The pylorus is funnel shaped. If you look at it very well, it is funnel shaped, and it opens into the small intestine. It opens into what? Into the small intestine. The fundus and the body, they are identical in microscopic structure. You understand? But they are the sites of what? They are the sites of gastric acid secretion. So gastric acid is secreted inside the what? Inside the fundus and the body. You understand? Now, remember that this stuff, they have their mucosa, their submucosa as well. Now, the only thing that I need to mention here is that the muscularis externa of the stomach, the muscularis externa of the stomach, consists of what? Consists of three layers of muscles. Yeah, it consists of the longitudinal layer, the circular layer, and the oblique layer. You understand? The inner layer, which is longitudinal, the middle circular layer, and the outer longitudinal layer. You understand? Outer longitudinal layer, middle circular layer, and the inner oblique layer. Rather, you understand? Inner oblique layer. So this is the inner one, this is the middle one, and this is the outer one. You understand? And we have the fundus here. So this is the cardia, this is the fundus. You understand? Now, let us proceed. These are histological structure. This is the small intestine. This is just the small intestine showing the intestinal villi. What's the function of villi? Villi is just like to increase the surface area of absorption. So what villi does is that it makes nutrient absorption easy inside the small intestine. That's why most of the absorption of nutrients occurs inside the small intestine. So this is just the structure of small intestine. These are the villi. These are the villi. They increase what? The surface area of absorption for what? For this stuff. You understand? So let us proceed. This is the large intestine. This is the large intestine. And large intestine is made up of what? We have the look at it. We have the rectum. Look at this, the anus. So this is the anus. That is where this stuff ends. You understand? So inside the large intestine we have the ascending colon. You understand? We have the transverse colon, we have the descending colon, and we have the what? We have the sigmoid colon. So we have 4 colon. You understand? We have. Let me quickly just explain this. In the large intestine, we have the cecum. You understand? The cecum, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, the sigmoid colon, the rectum, and to the what? To the anal canal, which is the anus. So these are how it goes. You understand? These are how it goes in the large intestine. We don't really need that. What just now is just the summary, of everything that we have said so far. Now, the esophagus itself, is made up of what? Is made up of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. You understand? Non-keratinized stratified epithelium with few lymphoid tissues. They have few lymphoid tissues, you understand? While the stomach itself, the stomach, which is let me talk about stomach as the fundus and the body first. The fundus and the body. Both of them are made up of what? Simple columnar epithelium. Simple columnar epithelium. Now, they did not put it there. I don't know why. Now, it's made up of simple columnar epithelium, and they have short gastric pits. Short gastric pits. They are less coiled. You understand? But the pylorus of the stomach, is made up of simple columnar epithelium as well, but long gastric pit, and they are what? They are coiled. You understand? Now, how about the other ones like the small intestine? The small intestine, we have inside the small intestine we have three parts. We have the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. I don't know if I show it. We have the what? I don't know if they show it. Um, we have the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. It was not shown. It was not shown yet. We have the duodenum, the jejunum, and the what? And the ileum. Now, the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum is made up of simple columnar cells as well. They have goblet cells. They have goblet cells. You understand? Normal goblet cells, and they have microvilli. You understand? And the lamina propria of this group is crypt of Lambacum. They did not put it here. They call it crypt of what? Crypt of Lambacum. And this is one of the crypts that's the Lambacum. This is one of the crypts that these stuff entamoeba histolytica affect whenever they infect man. You understand? So we have the small intestine to consist of the what? The duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. You understand? Now, the three of them is made up of what? Simple columnar epithelium, and it consists of goblet cells and microvilli. The lamina propria is what? Is crypt of Lambacum. You understand? Now, in the duodenum, we can find Brunner's gland. You understand? Brunner's gland inside the what? Inside the duodenum. Now, the colon itself, that is the intestine. The intestine is made up of three parts: the cecum, the colon, and the rectum. The what? The cecum, the colon, and the rectum. Remember that in the colon we have three. We have the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and even the which one is the last one? Sigmoidal colon, right? Yeah, sigmoidal colon. So it is four. So we have the what? The ascending colon, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. Yes. So, and we have the rectum. The four of them is lined with simple columnar epithelium as well. You understand? Simple columnar epithelium, they made up of numerous goblet cells. You understand? And they have microvilli. I get me now. But they have no microvilli. I don't think so. They don't have microvilli. They don't have microvilli. Now, yeah, they should have microvilli. They have microvilli because absorption occurs in the large center as well. Now, we now have anal canal. That is the anus. The anus is made up of made up of lined with stratified squamous epithelium. Stratified what? Squamous epithelium, and the submucosal plexus here is the venous sinuses. The venous sinuses. So we have the serosa and the adventitia. The combination of the adventitia and the mesothelium is known as the serosa. You understand? Now, the adventitia or serosa in stomach is just serosa. You understand? In the esophagus is adventitia, except for the lower end that is serosa. The small intestine is mainly serosa. The large intestine is mainly serosa, and the anal canal is adventitia. You understand? So these are the things that you have to understand under the histology of what? Under the histology of the nervous system. The histology of the gastrointestinal tract. You understand? So, like I said, non-keratinized stratified epithelium is for what? Is for the esophagus, right? The lining epithelium, that's simple columnar epithelium without goblet cells, is the what? Is the stomach, right? The one that has short gastric pits is the fundus or the body. You understand? And the one that has long gastric pit is the pylorus. You understand? Now, we now said for the one that is having simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells is the intestine. Can be large intestine or small intestine. The large intestine is separate from the small intestine with presence of villi in small intestine and no villi in large intestine. The small intestine consists of the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum, while the large intestine consists of the cecum, the rectum, and the what? And the colon, right? And we said Brunner's gland can be found in the duodenum. Brunner's gland is found in the duodenum. Also in the what? In the jejunum. We can find Brunner's gland, but we can also find lymphoid tissues in the jejunum. You understand? Now, in the anus, anus is lined with stratified squamous epithelium, and the submucosa there is venous sinuses, and basically it is adventitia. You understand? So these are the things that you have to understand that histology. So we have explained everything about the histology of the what? Histology of the gastrointestinal tract, and we hope you understand everything about the gastrointestinal tract now. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe for more.